everybody. Hi. Glad to see you all sitting down. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Miranda Sawyer, and I'd like to say welcome to the second ever Universal Music Open Day. I'm very happy to be hosting this event because this is a particularly interesting time in music. At the first event, Open Day last year, we talked about the changing face of the music industry, and surprise, surprise, that face has changed again. This time, it might even have a smile, because despite the pace of change in formats, delivery, hardware, software, licensing, payments, music business appears to be surviving. Some parts are even thriving. Only this week, the IFPI report informed us that the number of consumers subscribing to legal music streaming services increased globally by nearly 65% in 2011. And Spotify, who we'll be hearing from later, now boasts 2.5 million paying subscribers worldwide. There are other examples. Since its UK launch in April 2011, so not even a full year ago, Vivo has seen huge growth. It's now the #2 online video property after YouTube. It has 3.5 billion global streams, 21 million monthly unique users in the UK. The Vivo also, I'd like to just point out, has already paid back over $100 million to rights holders, which is more than MTV has managed in its entire history. But it's not just digital startups. Beats by Dre has revolutionized the headphones market. Who knew we wanted orange headphones that fold up and actually give you the music that you want to hear? Music as it actually could sound. Beats by Dre. So, there are people here who know about investment. Has the music industry become a good investment bet? Well, don't ask me. I was a fan of mini discs. But the recent report by Demos suggests that the UK's creative industries is more successful than you might think. More creative startups succeed than those in the hotel sector. However, financing and the tangled web of licensing can be just two of the headaches that entrepreneurs face when getting music startups off the ground. But I'd like to say that we're here to help. For this open day, Universal has joined with Bullhound, a leading investment bank that specialises in the technology sector. The idea, partly, was to bring together music startups with potential investors. But before you get to mingle and perhaps pitch, you might want to listen to what certain people have to say. So this is how the evening is going to go. We'll first hear from Hugh Campbell, who is hiding away, who is a co-founding member of Bullhound. After him will come Alice Enders, who's also sitting down here. Wave, Alice. Of Enders Analysis, who's going to present a market overview. Then we'll hear from Ken Parks, the Chief Content Officer of Spotify, and Luke Wood, who's the CEO of Beats with Dre, and they'll be telling us about their adventures in the music industry. After that, Hugh, Ken, and Luke will join me and Francis Keeling, Vice President of Digital at Universal International, and I'll ask some questions, and there'll be time for you to ask questions too. Hugh, come up first and come and stand next to me. Hugh Campbell of Bullhound. We welcome. Let me also welcome up on stage Ken Parks from Spotify. Here's the man. You sit over here, Ken. Francis Keeling, Vice President Digital at Universal. So Ken, would you like to sit there? Francis. And over here we have Luke Wood, from the CEO of Beats by Dre, and he's going to sit down here. He gets a whoop. I want a whoop. So I'm going to pass over to Hugh. Thank you.
Thanks, Miranda. Good evening, everybody. So just a quick couple of minutes before we have a deep dive into really what's going on in the industry from Enders Analysis. But we started Bullhound about 11 years ago now, really with the sole objective of bringing together technology entrepreneurs in Europe that we felt were really pretty underserved by the market, particularly by the corporate finance advisors and the VCs and their lawyers and their accountants. We never really had the community that was boasted about in Silicon Valley. So we started the business in 2000. And today this event is really a culmination of a lot of work that we've been doing, trying to bring together technology entrepreneurs and investors from all across Europe. Francis and I met up about a year ago, and the result of that bromance, I guess, is this evening. And I think it gives us great pleasure to share the stage with Universal and the rest of the panelists. But if you think about the investment community, to be honest, they've had a pretty rough ride from investing in digital music. I mean, they've found it initially, of course, irrationally seductive. I mean, it is. It's a very glamorous industry. I mean, here we are at the home of Universal Music, and we have a wonderful musician that's going to present to us and sing to us later. But really, it's irrationally seductive because the business models of at least 5 or 10 years ago were pretty hopeless. I mean, they were very poor, and it's taken some time for those to improve. And there's lots of reasons behind that. I mean, let's say digital music 1.0, you know, from 2000 to 2007, investors certainly lost a lot more money than they made in digital music. Perhaps MusiWave, the French startup, is an exception that proves the rule, and really on the back of this whole mobile music hype. And corporates, I mean, they haven't had an easy time of it. I mean, just look at the failures of Nokia Comes With Music, or Sky with their attempt at a streaming service, Sky Songs. So even those with large balance sheets don't get it quite right. But we, of course, and of course you guys as well, remain big believers in the sector, which is, of course, why we were keen to get involved in this evening's event. And, of course, we're starting slowly but surely to see the green shoots of success, you know, with the IPO of Pandora, the creeping global success of Spotify, and more recently, just last month, the funding of SoundCloud. And the role of artists, of course, is changing. I mean, they're truly coming to the fore. They're starting to communicate directly with fans through social media, of course. And in some cases, they're starting to take ownership, heaven forbid, of the marketing and the distribution of their own music. So I hope you enjoy the event. Please feel free to ask whatever questions you feel that we can answer, and many of those that hopefully we can't. And I hope with that I can hand over to Alice Enders from Enders Analysis.